Are we back? Are we back? I'd really like to be back. Please let it work this time. And stay working. Hi! You just missed it, but we just had the most annoying technical difficulties a moment ago. Uh, anyways, I forgot what I was on. I colored in this panel, and then I need to color kitchen counters. I need to look up kitchen counters. Dog. So I think she would have something in warm hues like these. I'm gonna copy this. I have so many things open. Hang on. You said hello drawing. Does that mean I'm drawing? Like my name is drawing? This panel. And... Dang, I took so long trying to fix those technical difficulties that my controller turned off. Okay. And then the countertop will just be white, I guess. Forgot to color in one of her fingers. Okay, time to look up kitchenware. Okay, maybe I just need to look up normal kitchenware. Kitchenware. Kitchen? Are you aware? Kitchen, what are you wearing? Yeah, that joke sucked. I'm sorry. Eh. I remember I had I don't know if I would classify it as a dream or a nightmare last night where I guess I was working and doing my job because like there were kids there, but for some reason I was in charge of like 50 kids. Like I had to keep track of 50 kids in a huge mall, which was very harrowing cuz like what the fuck, that's 50 kids. I can barely handle 10 or 20. That's usually the amount we get, like 20. So 50 would be completely beyond my depth. I don't know. Maybe it's some sort of subconscious fear trying to rear its ugly head to the surface. But I don't like it. I don't like it. Do people fit. Wait, do people. Okay. But, like, do they flip it like pancakes? No. Wait. Maybe? Yes. Yes, they do flip crepes. Okay. Because I was drawing. I've been drawing this shit the whole time, operating under the assumption, like, oh, people obviously flip crepes, but now I was like, wait, I don't know 100% for sure. This is such a stupid ass drawing process. Half of my drawing process is just, wait, I need to Google something. Over and over again until I finally finish the thing. At least now I have the proper color for the crepe. And the table. Let's go down to this panel, I guess. Use my newfound crepe color. I like forgot what panel this was for a sec. Is this looping? I'm getting the feeling it might be looping. Oh, wait, never mind. That's just the order that the songs show up in. Actually, I feel like I should color that middle panel for, well, no, hold on. I've already got the table right here, so I should just color in. That's panel 5. Why does this also say panel 5? Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this would be 5, this would be 6. I can't count. Anyway, set that, and then color that in. Itchy. And then I'm gonna go to panel 3 and start coloring in the crepe with whatever comes off the top of my head. This is a good crepe color, right? And then cherries on top. Fuck. Never mind, the first color was better. Put some whipped cream. I guess also whipped cream on the inside too. That's how I usually make my crepes. I'll like put whipped cream on the inside and outside. It's excessive, sure, but it's yummy. What did I say was in this thing? Strawberries, bananas, blueberry sauce, honey, cinnamon, sugar. Bloobs. And then honey on the thing. No, that looks weird. I need a sweeter looking honey. Put a honey drizzle on top, and then I guess also raspberry drizzle. I don't know what plate color this should be. It can't be this color because it's too similar to that. Maybe a light blue would work for the plate color. And then I just have to copy all of these colors over to the next couple panels. If I can remember where this shit is. Cherry color. I like how this thing just changes appearances between panels because I'm too tired to keep consistent. I've been working on this thing too long, you know? I'm tired of it. Put some blueberries. I'm just operating under the assumption that a crepe like this would be nasty. I don't actually know. Because, like, this is how I usually make my crepes a lot of the time. Minus some of the, like, other assorted things that Melanie mentions. But usually I put, like, blueberry sauce inside first, and then top that with some bananas. And then I put whipped cream on top of that. And then I close it up and then put even more whipped cream on it. Because there is something wrong with me. Next panel is... Next time I do one of these comics, I should rename the frames so I know exactly where everything goes. I forgot to color her fucking tail. Cherry. Next time I do one of these comics, I think I need to also plan out my palettes beforehand for efficiency purposes. What color should the silverware be? Yeah, I guess it could just be normal silver. And then I need to color in Melanie's tail because I forgot. I forgore. Oh, I like this song. I think it literally samples the moonlighting theme, like the theme to that TV show Moonlighting. And I think this song was originally by Al Jarreau. I was such a huge Al Jarreau fan as a kid, and one thing that will forever make me mad is that Al Jarreau died in like 2017 or so, and so that was like before. Who goes there? Chukaropi? Like the frog? Hi. Hi, Chukaropi. We're doing art. We're doing art. Don't forget to color this one. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I'm forever pissed off about Al Jarreau dying before I ever got the chance to see him in concert or anything. Because my my older siblings, they got to see him in concert, but they were not Al Jarreau fans. Like my mom took them to go see him in concert when they were younger, and that's not the type of music they like, so they didn't care for it. I would have loved that. I would have loved to go see Al Jarreau live, but alas, I don't think I was born then, or if I was probably too young and hadn't listened to enough Al Jarreau yet. Either way, I'm forever pissed. Of course, my mom did make it up to me at some point by taking me to a Johnny Mathis concert recently. Not recently. I think it might have been 2 years ago now. 3? It was a while ago. Either way, my mom took me to a Johnny Mathis concert, which was pretty fun. Okay, that's crepe colored in. Let me grab that crepe color before I forget. Where's this? I wish I could go to more concerts, but there's really not that many artists that I am interested in listening to who are A, still alive, and B, still do concerts. Yeah, had the technical difficulties for a little bit, but then the stream finally decided to stop being annoying. It was just the Wi-Fi at home, so I switched to Ethernet, and hopefully that solved the problem. Oh my god, Sophie! I've never even listened to her music, but I know that she's like one of the biggest tragedies in the modern era, because it's like she just wanted to see the moon. It sucks. like that's one of those artists that you hope has a long career and gets old and has like a whole long career to look back on, huge library of music to enjoy, but no. We were robbed. And like, yeah, there's other transgender musicians out there, but it's not the same. I hate when that happens, when somebody at the peak of their fame ends up dying. Like, no! This was supposed to be your year! But like that's even worse though, because like I'm complaining about people who, like, oh, they don't do concerts anymore because they're just old, you know, or their band split up or something. But that's somebody who like that around this time you should have been able to watch those concerts, but no. I wish there was more contemporary music that I liked. Future funk and vaporwave do not count since half of the genre is literally just sampling old music. What do I mean, half the genre? More like almost the entire genre is just sampling old music. But I want to see new artists that actually appeal to my specific music taste, I guess. They don't be making R&B anymore though, or like they don't make R&B or New Jack Swing or disco or funk. Not like they used to. And so I say I'm running out of music to listen to, but that's not true because I'm always finding new music somehow. I think so, although their music has moved a little bit more mainstream, I guess. And so their sound is a bit different. I was never all too big on Mo Shop. I think there was only like 2 or 3 songs of theirs that I liked, but ultimately I think Mo Shop leaned a little bit too heavy into the anime aesthetic side of future funk for me to truly enjoy. The crepe. It's like it's so strange to think about how like future funk, yeah, it's just a genre of sampled music, but there's such a big spectrum within that genre that like, oh yeah, no two artists are really the same if you look at it too closely. Blueberry sauce. What else did I say? Oh, there's honey in here too? Okay. No, wait. The honey's on the top. Okay. The crepe of all time. But like, when it comes down to future funk, there's always like the Japanese side of the future funk and the American side of the future funk, just based on like where do you get your samples from. Usually I lean a bit closer towards like American oriented future funk that samples like stuff from the 70s, 80s, disco. And then there's also like Japanese-oriented future funk is usually sampling like, what was it called? City pop, I believe. Like 80s Japanese city pop. Shout out Diana Ross. And while I do like those on occasion, sometimes the mixing that the artists do ends up leaning a little bit too... I don't want to just describe it as anime music. I think it's more like J-pop sound, maybe? But I haven't listened to enough J-pop to really know how to describe something as J-pop. Because sometimes they will just use straight-up anime openings as a sample for a song. I find it interesting, though, when an artist does a blend, I guess, of both, like, English language and Japanese language songs for their samples. And then there's that rare section of future funk that I think samples, like, Spanish music. That always sounded interesting to me. Because it's like, no, I don't understand what you're saying, but the flow goes crazy. I forgot to color her hand in on this side. And I forgot about her utensils. Thanks, you flatter me. Value comps? Like, composition? Hang on. Oh, yeah, I do thumbnails. Like, I start with a script, then I do, like, a loose thumbnail on, like, a notebook or something. Then I'll do a sketch based on that thumbnail digitally, and then I will just do line art over the sketch, and now I'm coloring. Melanie has the, like, food palette of a child, basically. Like, in Melanie's attraction to... Not Melanie. Emmeline's attraction to Melanie, she kind of misses the fact that, oh yeah, Melanie's kind of emotionally immature, and she doesn't really know why. She just finds it kind of cute. It's something that has to be unpacked with time. Put bananas in there. Put the strawberry in there. I usually don't put strawberries in mine. And then, what else? I guess blue. We're putting blue in there. But yeah, I think freehanded the entire comic would just be a little bit too difficult for me. At least if I do a sketch beforehand, that gives me the chance to, like, go over my work and see if I actually like the specific composition, and then edit it before I get too far into the process. The table. I forgot the color of the table. Is there anything else I need to color here? I don't think so. Hopefully. I do need to take this color and add it to frame 1, panel 1. I forgot to turn her thing back on. Get rid of these in between the prongs. Dang, it's already 11 a.m. Those technical difficulties really took a lot of my time. Like, a lot more than I expected. Oh my god, I forgot to color her stool. Okay, I'll color it afterward. What frame? What panel? This panel. No. This panel. Ooh, I have not heard this one before. I love when I'm listening to an artist and I realize there's just a whole bunch of stuff in their discography that I just haven't heard before. I never fully decided what to do with her other leg, huh? I guess I'll just put it over here. I forgot what color her legs are. This. Hopefully this foot being wonky isn't too noticeable. Color that, what else? I need to color the chair. I need to come up with chair colors. Let me grab this first. Grab this. I forgot to color the plate. Let me go back up to panel, this one? Yeah. Plate colored. Close that, go back down here. I need to color her chair. I guess it could be like white leg with the brown stool instead to contrast against the brown table, white top. Maybe. Wait, I should try it in this page first. No, it'll still be covered up. I'll just try it here. Color this. I know I'm doing full colors for the room right now, but I think in a final version of this, like any comic I do, I should just do palettes, like color palettes, so I don't have to waste too much time color picking. This is all part of the learning process, I swear. Fuck. Put that, no. And let's copy these colors over to page 1. This panel. Line art, select. Turn that off for a sec. Go to the color. Color the stool. Add that little bit of extra color for her tail. And color in these reddish bits. Color in the legs. Okay. Colored all of that in. Okay. Back up top. And then, did I color everything here? Yeah, I did. Okay, I can save these 2 pages. Okay, now that I've got base colors on this, I could probably do the rest of the background too, or I could switch to something else since I still have multiple. Okay, not these. I don't need to save this kitchenware. Other things I was working on, like this sketch. Where's Ooh, I love this song. Oh my god. Memory Lane 2? Okay, that's an album I don't remember. I thought this album. I thought this was from Car Showroom. Maybe? I don't know. Sometimes he puts the same song on multiple albums. I did not think about what their outfit should be here. Let me edit. I'll just do free transform. Compared to previously, this looks better actually. Like more proportionate, I'd say. Save that. I should put a name on this. Apparently I've already saved a drawing as Emmeline Pinup once. I love when an artist uses some random font or something for the title of their song. So when like text parser tries to parse it into regular text, it just turns into completely unreadable. Anyway, what else was I gonna do? Because I know there was script work that I wanted to do, particularly for the second half of that specific comic. But that seems like it might be a little boring. So maybe I could do like setting work, like set design. So that's like the base furniture. I could probably make this a different color since Melanie's not much of a blue girl. Where's... Yeah, that's more like it. And then... Get this pink color. Turn this layer pink, I guess. Yeah, so fun fact about me and my name specifically, my name Saint Lesbian was directly inspired by Saint Pepsi. For some reason, when I was in high school or something, subconsciously I was like, oh man, I want to be like a Future Funk producer or something. So I made a SoundCloud with the name Saint Pepsi. And even though I never really did, I was inspired by Saint Pepsi. I made a SoundCloud with the name Saint Lesbian, and I think I posted like one song that I had done and then never did anything else there again. But the name kind of stuck with me, so I ended up changing basically all of my social handles to that. Okay, so this is gonna be the normal closet for her, I guess. With all of her normal people clothes. And this will be her toy closet. There's a small toy chest in there. Or better yet, that could probably be like a dollhouse that she takes out sometimes. And then this desk could have her sewing machine on it. She has a bath mat. There's no need for any other floor things in the bathroom, I guess. This would be the hamper. This is the washer. This is the dryer. Yeah, that video was a classic. I need to be thinking about other locations. For example, in the first episode, they literally end up going to the Cosmos Resort. And I don't have any descriptions of it because I forgot to actually describe anything about it. Vibes-wise, it's probably something like this. Or like this. But because this episode takes place in January, they can't really do much outside, so it's more like this, I guess. This image turns so tiny. Thanks, Tumblr. Or maybe it was just always tiny. I love just looking up floor plans for stuff. So, what's it called? Paradise State. Let me pull up the fucking, image while I talk about this. The comic, Paradise State. It is a furry soap opera comic. That's the only way I know how to describe it. I can't really talk about too many things without getting too spoilery, I guess, other than just, like, you know, the typical trappings of a soap opera. It's set in this fictional state, the fictional 50th state of the United States called Felicity. Hawaii is its own country, and so is Puerto Rico for the purposes of this universe. This does not have any impact on the story. Felicity is just the new 50th state, somewhere off the east coast of the United States, and so all the events take place here. And I guess it's called Paradise State because Felicity, I guess, is meant to be a paradise state. Fuck, I don't know. Okay, this bird down here, let me find the images. Me when I'm finding images. So, Loretta Parada, she's a gala bird, and she's also a photographer for the Plaything magazine in Calico City. Plaything magazine is just like Playboy magazine, but for animals and for everybody. She's the lead photographer there, and while she is enjoying her job, like taking photos of stuff, she's also starting to get interested in like gossip photography. She wants to like take photos that can be published in tabloids. She's slowly leaning into like a paparazzi type. or almost stalker type unintentionally. Ultimately, she doesn't have too much place in the story other than like she's the photographer and sometimes she she's not too bad though. Like she doesn't lean too hard into it. She's just interested for the sake of like there's a story there. She doesn't want to ruin people's lives or anything, but she does want to get like information. I think she's one of the characters that shows up in the first issue. Along with Emmeline the squirrel, Natalie the other squirrel, Sylvia shows up for a little bit, Claudio, also part of the main plot line, and Melanie, and Lonnie. Lonnie also shows up. I need to develop some of these characters more. One difficult thing about creating soap opera characters that I have realized is that it's kind of hard to difficult. It's kind of hard to develop characters without putting too much spoilery stuff in their backstories. Welcome back. Okay, so if she's facing that wall, then... Okay, so she's somewhere in this area, I guess. This is the second time somebody's done a dad joke this stream. First Noodle with the high drawing. And now you with the back. So I'm guessing this would be like at this angle or something. Yeah, it does. People don't really do that very often, no. In order to draw these panels, I think, like, not panels, but these backgrounds, I think I might need to turn off some of the, like, regular... Let me turn off the word bubbles. That did not help much. Let me go to frame 1 and turn off the word balloons. The fuck is that? What layer are you? Like, I have a couple books at home about, like, writing for soap operas that I peruse through from time to time for the purposes of study. Okay, so she'd be coming out from over here, I guess? Let me turn off the color for a sec and then make a frame behind her. Okay, one door there, and then another door a little bit over. I forgot to turn off the other word balloon. Okay. I have to tell myself this doesn't need to be perfect because it's just a background, so it's not the main focus. Let me move this upward a little bit so, well, not too far upward, I guess. This door is open inward. Is that the right way for the door to swing? Yes, it is. But it's not the right way for this door to swing. That one swings inward that way. Okay, that's not the hallway apartment I meant. Okay, this is more like what I was thinking. I guess she could have a little shelf with a plant on it. Right next to her room. Is that what that's called when it like it's one of those plants that just sort of goes out of the pot? Me when I ferns. That's a fern, I see. I'm just putting whatever. Well then what's the word for them in Spanish? Is it ivy? Estas muer... No! Oh. Ghost chasers. Oh. You had me scared. Yeah, I am. And that's one of the things that makes me worry whenever I think about, oh, what if I cooperated with somebody on this project? Okay, but who else do I know who would actually be that interested in writing a soap opera specifically? I was looking for hallway decor. Que miras, bobo? Que miras, bobo? Bobo. Lionel Messi does music? No, that's a song. Oh man. I'm learning so much today. Bobo is fool. Oh, is that why people say Boo Boo the Fool? Because it sounds similar? Oh, Brazilian! Like Portuguese? Or is there a separate Brazilian language besides Portuguese? I should know these things. I literally work with Portuguese children at work. I mean, Brazilian children at work. Portuguese, Brazilian Portuguese. I understand, I think. Okay, where's the really lazy coloring job right now. Actually, I could just put pink, I guess, and then put this color burn. No, linear. No. Actually, linear does look. Ugh! Kill. Bye. Bossa Nova. That's another good one. I could put this at 50% and then... Oh yeah, I'm a genius. Yeah, that's fair. I don't really rock with most of Europe. Let me put all this in the folder. I don't know. I mean, I guess the history of colonization... Maybe that's a shallow reason to not rock with the whole continent. Oh, I forgot about... Yeah, it's so weird how people treat the Roma. Like, literally, they're just chilling. It's so weird to me. Like, you really just picked some random group of people to fuck with, and for what? I like the simplicity of this background. I don't know why. Let me turn the bubbles back on. Where's the next panel? This one. Wait. Okay. Colors in context look like that. Wait. So green can be surprise? Oh yeah, don't come here, please. Don't come here. Don't come here. You'll get stuck or something, and it'll suck. Don't do that to yourself. America sucks right now. I mean, it's always kind of sucked, but it sucks especially now. How is it already 11:36? That's getting on my nerves. Okay. So she'd be coming over here. And then she'd be cooking at the stove. So I guess it would be like an angle like this. And then behind her you would see the fridge and the front door. Ah, the Swiss. I forgot about Switzerland. Ignore all of the stuff I said about Europe before. Okay, so if she's cooking at the stove from this angle, I guess I could have the stovetop peeking over. And then that just makes her look way shorter than she is. Let's just lower the stovetop a little bit. Then there would be that corner. Let's move this over some. There's this corner, and then it starts turning this way, and then from this angle, the fridge would be like basically right behind her. But let's make it shrunked. Let's make it small. Yeah, that sucks. Why is the whole world doing this? I'd really like for at least some part of the world to not be turning towards fascism, considering how desperately we need to, like, come together to stop global warming. And we can't do that if everybody's fascists. Hang on. What am I doing? I literally modeled this scene in Blender. Let me see if I can get a good angle in Blender on how her fridge looked. I should have made a version of this file where I can, like, get rid of some of the walls or something. I don't remember how to turn on orthographic projection. That's not it. That's wait, is that it? No. That's ortho, which unfortunately means that it is impossible for me to look inside of the kitchen now. He did say this. Okay, turn down the saturation on that shit. Move that up a little bit. Fuck, wrong layer. What was the angle that I had it at in this? This is so much guesswork. Oh, wait, this doesn't need to be. Oh, wait, but. Yeah, that's the closed door. Where will I post the strips? So once I finish, I will probably post them to my Tumblr or my Twitter or my Blue Sky or other places like that. I think I should probably also start posting to my Inkblot again, since that is a site specifically meant for art. And it'd be good to have like an actually easily accessible archive of all of my art and drawings and whatnot. Okay. Tapas? See, with this comic, my plan for it was that I would make actual, like, comic issues, like a full 22-page thing, and then I'd sell them from an online shop, because there would be, like, physical versions of the books and digital versions. So once I start posting, like, the full 22-page issues, then those will probably be sold through itch.io or something, with the coffee shop to go along with it. I'm not a big tapas fan, honestly. I wish I was a bit more into it, but I'm more into, like, older forms of webcomic hosting, like Comic Fury and stuff. Maybe NeoCities. Why does this song sound like that? What the fuck? I'm skipping this. Ew. Excuse me. But yeah, this little comic is not directly related to the actual plot of the what's it called? Oh yeah, and NeoCities, like for the sake of actually documenting the whole character's deal, I think that is another good reason to make a NeoCities. There's the because like I know I was already planning on doing a NeoCities just so I could have like a little explorable version of the city. Well, not the city of Felicity for people to like check out. Yeah, I still have my Twitter. I still use it from time to time. I just don't post art on there that much, if at all. Like for the purposes of advertising streams and everything, I still post there, even though it doesn't really get me much traction. Maybe I should have the furniture be the colored parts instead. That would make more sense. Let's have the fridge be vertical lines. Actually, no. Maybe there's horizontal lines I can use. Wait, what the fuck is Oh, concrete. I don't want that. I could use that as the door, maybe? No. Pressure shader? Crosshatch? And then vertical lines on this, maybe? Or, yeah, sure. And then change that color to this. And then I need a true background color, I guess. Overlay. Decrease. And then I could make, what's it called? Correction layer? With the... do I have any green gradient maps? I know there were some Brazilians that came back, but I feel like a lot of them would have stayed on Blue Sky, right? Okay. color for curiosity? Orange? So in this panel, she would be facing towards the living room. She'd be sitting here, and behind her would be the living room. Oops. Actually, that might be a good spot to cut from, right? Where's the panel? So she's sitting there. That bookshelf would be behind her head, yeah. So I guess to make things look further into the background, I could use less color on them so they don't distract the viewer as much, or use lighter colors. That bookshelf. And then, is that her window? Okay. And then a little bit of the couch in there. I don't need too much detail on the bookshelf, just the general idea that, oh yeah, there's books there. Come on. It's almost noon and I can already feel myself wanting to take a nap. Because for some reason, every day at noon, I just knock out. But I don't want to do that this time. Because then if I take a nap now, then by the time I have to get back up for work, I'm going to be sleepy. Again. In order to keep from taking a nap, I'm just gonna stay in this chair. Because there have been times where I've tried to take a nap in this chair, but it would be like super uncomfortable and I wouldn't get much sleep. So in order to keep myself from sleeping, I'm just gonna stay in this chair. I've got everything I need anyways. I've got my doll, I've got my blanket. I don't need to leave. I don't need to get up. Before I even think about that though, I want to at least finish the colors on this. But yeah, right now I'm in the really early stages with my comic where I'm still writing out plots for episodes and figuring out like how I want certain things to go. Oh, absolutely. I'll probably just get a bottle of water from the... Damn, I've never heard this one before. What the fuck? This goes hard. Shit, Mitro, what you been up to while I wasn't listening? That's my alarm. But yeah, like, I'm still early stages with my comic, and my original plan generally was that I would start releasing issues in 2026, like January 2026, and then it would just be like a monthly thing from there. In order to prepare for myself for that, though, I would at least like to have like 6 issues worth of backlog before I start publishing, so that if I fall behind by a little bit, I can still catch up. And also, that 6-month buffer, I'd say, would probably still give me a little bit of time to change storylines if I feel like they're not being received well. Turn that off. Yeah. Okay, turn that down a little bit more. Yeah, these are just like practice pages to see how like I would draw characters interacting, and also just practice for myself to like figure out how I would do scripting and how I would do like just my general comic workflow. Okay, I don't need to have a bold background in every single panel. So I'm going to put a layer up top here. And then put a gradient map over top the whole thing. Lower the opacity of it. Set this to overlay, I guess. Turn the word balloons back on wherever they are. Actually, no, I'll wait a little longer for turning the word balloons back on. Maybe I can like stretch this out a little more so it doesn't look too... Okay, that actually looked better. Stop, you flatter me. Oh my gosh. She's so epic and awesome. And so silly. She is Nigerian though, right? Cause like my dad is Nigerian, so I might get some of that from him. Ayo a debrief, but for furries. Okay, I was gonna copy... where did I put the fucking background? I was going to copy the background from this panel. Control C, and then I was going to put it in this panel. Move it over. Shrink it a little bit. So it's like the world is going a little further away. And then also blur the fuck out of it. Decrease the saturation. The bear, the literal bear. Yellow and purple are curiosity? Well, I do have a gradient brush for that. I will literally just use sunset for this. What happened to sunrise? I used to have sunrise somewhere in here. Photosphere, blue sky, midday sky, sunset, night sky, rainbow, gradient array, sunset 2. Where did my other fucking sunset go? Maybe it could be... Where's the fucking circle option? Where's the... Okay, tool settings. Let me see shape. Why did you hide shape from me? What the hell? Wait, that looks crazy. Do I keep it like this? I'm gonna flip this. And then I'm gonna lower the fuck out of the opacity. Turn this to maybe color burn? Yeah, color burn. And then this frame I don't really need to have a background in. I can just have the colors. No, I should use the line art. I can duplicate this, put it underneath. Oh, but there's some ugly specks in it. Wait, if I change the thickness... I still need to erase the specks. Fuck. And then behind her head should be some sort of dot pattern, I think. Yeah. Yeah. Make that overlay. Yeah. Turn down the frequency to 20. And then where was this frame? I think I want to change this. Maybe if I put this underneath. Oh, that's a better effect, actually. So turn that to multiply. This... Actually, have that stay normal. Wait. Yeah, so have that stay normal. It doesn't need to be that visible. Okay. You do that, and then you have it fading into the background in the next panel. Close these. Is this still nitro? And then I need to put a small background on this panel. No, it should be dark. Yeah, black with a subtle green, I guess. And then if I don't like it, I can just change it later. And then I go down and color in panel 3. But also, before I do anything else, I need to turn that off and replace it with just all white in the background. Okay, turn on... Oops. No, that's a bit too orange. Unless... No. I need yellow. I need straight up yellow. A light, pleasant yellow. And then color this marker to blur the edges a bit. Bathing ape. Okay, that's not the one I'm looking for. There's another one in here where it's affected by how hard you press. I know that, right? It's not the clean one. No, it's none of the clean ones. It's maybe rough dot? Yes, rough dot. And then to make it look more pleasant, turn it white. Haters getting mad because I got me some bathing ape. And then add in some cute little flourishes. Make this a glow layer, I guess. No, I think I need to add it to a duplicate of the line art. And then maybe if I swap the colors actually. So like have there be pink on the outside and then yellow on the inside? Interesting. Hmm. Would that make sense? Okay. Yeah, and then you can see the little flourishes of sparkles a little bit better, actually. And then I can just ditch this part, I think. And then... what is she standing in front of? She's presenting this to Emmeline on the table. And then she would be standing here, I guess, in front of the fridge. Then again, I feel like we've already established that they are in the kitchen pretty well. So I don't think I need to draw the kitchen in this panel. But I do need to modify the colors a little bit on this part. Yeah, this should be multiply, I think. Wow, that had no effect. Maybe it's because it's not on top of anything. Yeah, there we go. And then this. Since all of it's just in one folder, I can just lower the opacity of the entire folder. Okay, and then I can turn off the grid. Wait, what panel? Gotta make sure I close up each panel whenever I'm done with it. I'm gonna turn this. Yay! Hooray for lesbians! Let's make it. Yeah, that's a better color because it fits the color scheme. Since it wouldn't make sense to just have a random spot of green on this page, I think. Yeah, looking at this is pretty good. Is there anything else I'm missing? Okay, I can save this. It's 12:26. Usually I would stop at this point, but I haven't done the background for this page yet, so I want to at least get a little bit of that done. Wait, did I turn off all the... Okay, I turned all the bubbles back on. And then on this panel, I could probably start introducing a little green to show like, oh, this is a weird flavor. It tastes bad. Or too sweet, I guess. And the sketch. Okay. Background has fully faded away. This panel, I could probably just emphasize colors in the background. Maybe not those colors. I need to be more careful about it. Maybe take this and then tonal correct the fuck out of it. Nah, that looks weird.